Dalion. I don't remember this guy's voice. You know what? All the voices are probably going to change. Dalion is trembling with barely contained enthusiasm. Rislin, eager to resume our investigations? I know I am. Do you recall that scrap of alien starship we recovered? Well, Inspector Brandihild has employed his unsettling calculative capacity to extrapolate the damage to the greater whole, and he has concluded that the vessel could be incapable of flight without extensive repairs. Our most likely scenario, then, is that some unknown agent made off with the starship wreckage, along with Poo-Poo's acquaintance. Fortunately, I have a fair idea who that unknown agent may be. After all, there is a singularly shadowy cabal with a history of concealing extraterrestrial activity. Actually, let's head over to Kama first. The inspector and the others are staying in a dwelling there, and I'd rather not explain myself twice. Master Poo-Poo. I'm not gonna lie, when I was reading these aloud, and it did not register until I started streaming for you guys how ridiculous the Master Poo-Poo is. Really. Okay. I gotta go over here, comma. Oh my god. This may not be the best time to share my conclusions. A most terrible development. Oh, Rislin, I'm so worried for Master Poo-Poo. This horrible misfortune, Rislin. Calamitous, even. Poor Master Poo-Poo has fallen gravely ill. No. Aww. He's so bluish-green. More so, I mean. Could he have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chilly up there in Garlemald. Poo-Poo is an alien. Who knows what extraterrestrial diseases might be ravaging his body? Nashu's delights are the best medicine for whatever ails you, as the inspector himself can attest. Good gods, Nashu! You'll blow our whole domicile to pieces! Put them away! If I may, when I was cloned from the inspector, certain gaps in my knowledge were patched with supplementary data from the starship's archives. This information included an encyclopedic understanding of Master Poo-Poo's physiology, which should be sufficient for me to diagnose his condition. A Xenoman hybrid mind. That explains the impossible calculations. Here we go again. I have it. Master Poo-Poo is afflicted by a terrible case of the common cold. God's grant strength. As a visitor to Aetheris, Master Poo-Poo has no prior exposure to our maladies. He is thus particularly susceptible to infection and more likely to experience severe symptoms. Aha! 'Tis just as I had surmised. We must put aside the case until we have nursed our stricken companion back to health. But even if it is a common cold, isn't there a risk that our medicines do him more harm than good? They almost certainly would. Based on the results of my analysis, however, I believe I can synthesize an effective remedy. We need but gather the ingredients. The ingredients you shall have. So, what are we gathering exactly? Most of what we require can be drawn from Master Poo-Poo's collected samples. Otherwise, there are only two which we lack. Yes, always chores. The first of these is the liver of a giant tortoise. A suitable organ can be extracted from one of the cachapa, which wander salt winds welcome. Ah, the slaughtering of a monstrous opponent. That sounds like a job for Rislin. Yes, it is. The other material in question is a rare fungus known as damp shroom, which I am hoping can be found among the Great Work's extensive stock of alchemical reagents. Very well. Nashu, Dalian, and I will scour the alchemist's shelves. Meanwhile, I would ask that you remain here and keep an eye on our ailing patient. Inspector Brandihild, you're such an expert on all things Tavnir. Oh, I wouldn't say expert. Simple conclusions from simple observations, nothing more. As I said, I am hoping the alchemists have the damp shroom we need, but it really is quite rare. Once you have the tortoise liver, would you be so kind as to assist the others in procuring the fungus? Then let us not prolong Master Poo-Poo's suffering a moment longer. Seems we have a job to do. Further discussion of the abduction will have to wait. Time to go kill turtles. Oh my gosh. I haven't heard this song in like 2 weeks. I've been hanging out and doing all my Dawn Trail stuffs. So we finally got to the level 97 dungeon, so I'm hoping in the next week or so we can be finished up with the MSQ. Alright. And let me tell you, those dungeons, they're something else. Those dungeons, I tell ya. Husband almost broke his keyboard today. Alright. He was mad. It was rough. There's a lot going on. I think they're fun, but you really have to, like, understand. Like, once you know the mechanics, they're not so bad. But if you don't know the mechanics, you're gonna die a lot. Alright, so what am I doing here? Oh, that didn't take very much. Mm-hmm. My peacock. I probably could have just ported here, but oh, here we go. Oh, don't do that. Okay. Mission was successful, I assume. Ours is going. Who knew a lamp shroom would be so difficult to find? Lamp shroom. Rislin, I have every confidence you would bring us a suitable liver. Alas, the dank shroom yet eludes us. Alchemist said the fungus has few applications, so they don't bother to stock it most of the time. Then I must put my keen inspector's sons to work. Stand back whilst I attune myself with the essence of the dank. Hildibrand, no, Hildy. Damp. The word is damp shroom. You'll forgive me if I have no faith in your abilities. 'Tis close, my friends. I'm getting closer and closer even as we speak. I hear you folk are in the market for damn shrooms. I might have some to sell, if you're interested. But how? We certainly are, my fine fellow. Right then. You'll give me a moment to retrieve the goods. We can finalize our transaction up on the perfumed rise. Was it genuine clairvoyance or sheer coincidence? I'm not sure anymore. Though in all fairness, when it comes to Inspector Hildibrand, preternatural's perception is one of his least baffling talents. In any case, we should hurry to the rise and take this man up on his timely offer. Oh yeah, there he is! He's still there. Oh my gosh. He's not even being like trying to be inconspicuous anymore. Our quest for medicinal components nears its end. Stay strong, Master Poo-Poo. The Inspector saves the day again. I wonder, does this not strike you as a touch convenient, if not contrived? Well, that's the entire quest line is contrived, but yes. Ah, you're here. Good. Good. And here's the damn shroom, as promised. Oh ho! Glad we are for your assistance. Ta-ta. Not so fast. There is still the matter of payment. Of course, of course. And how much do we owe you, my good man? Considering the extreme rarity of the fungus in question, I couldn't let it go for less than 1 million gil. 1 million gil? For one measly mushroom? That's outright robbery! A bargain, I counter. You would pay tenfold my price in the markets. I thought to do you a kindness in light of your urgent need. But I am more than willing to find another buyer if you wish to spit upon my generosity. Nashu, how fare we for coin? We're plumb out, Inspector. Ah, then this is a prickly pickle. Where are we to obtain sufficient funds at such short notice? No! A million gil, was it? I have an orchestrion roll collection problem. Gotta buy them all. Spent the last of my savings on Return to Oblivion. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. That's the way of it, then I shall beg Father for the necessary amount. Saving Master Poo-Poo's life is worth every gil. Give that man nothing. We have you now, deceitful scum. Your swindling days are over. I hope we get that mushroom, though. Outside Han, city guard, at your service. We'd received reports of this man's questionable activities and have been keeping a close eye on him ever since. Damn shroom is a rare find in the bazaar, to be sure, and only because there's no real demand for it. The price the charlatan quoted you was, quite frankly, ludicrous. But thanks to your ignorance and poor judge of character, we were able to catch him in the act. As a token of our gratitude, you are welcome to keep the fungus, assuming you still want it. Yes, very much so. That is very, magnanimous of you. Bah! Think I enjoy tricking fools out of their coin? That bastard hadn't declared my job redundant. I wouldn't have needed to stoop so low. He blames a rising star among the merchant princes for his woes. Venuti, I believe his name was, purchased a trading consortium where the man was working, which led to a restructuring of the hierarchy, put a lot of people out of work. Venuti. I know that name. Something about an acquisitions deal gone sour? Father was willing to sell him a slice of his Hannish enterprise, I think, but balked when the man offered to buy our family business in its entirety. Truly, there is no telling how deep the coffers of this Venuti are, nor do any know the secret of how he amassed such kingly wealth so damnably fast. There are whispers, though, that he's solved alchemy's oldest and most legendary problems, the transmutation of base metal into gold. Unlikely, to say the least, but whatever the source of Venuti's riches, he shows no reluctance in spending them. He's bought a historic temple to serve as his home and commissioned a private airship among other extravagant expenditures. Nice for some, eh? Venuti? I don't think he's a Popoto. Core, that swindling case had barely started before you solved it, Inspector. All in a day's work, my dear Nashu. I believe our business upon this scented hill is concluded. Let us hurry to the ingredients back to Inspector Brandihild, shall we? Uh-oh. I may have mollified his lordship with the secrets of divine manifestation, but the stench of failure yet clings to me. I must redeem myself in his eyes by crushing my most hated foe. Hildibrand is I'm his most hated foe. Alright, back to Rods at Han. Yes, bug-eyed robot man, Luge. I don't know how they just decided that boss was gonna be like like one of the bad guys in this quest. Alright. After all that, we paid not a single gil for the damn shroom. The manifestation of such windfalls must be another facet of the inspector's uncannily good fortune. Your suffering nears its end, Master Poo-Poo. If Inspector Brandihild's remedy fails, we can always try my explosive cure-all. Inspector Hildibrand tells me you have the liver to go along with his damn shroom. Fine specimen, thank you. I will be mixing the ingredients in the starship, so let us convey Master Poo-Poo outside, that we may administer his medicine as soon as it is ready. So sick! No! We got to save Master Poo-Poo. It should be sufficiently remote. I'll have the craft come to us, and we can commence with the treatment. love how it, like, skid to a stop.
Oh, I feel so much better. I cannot thank you all enough.
Mr. Poo-Poo recovered his strength in mere moments. 'Twould seem his powers of recuperation are just as advanced as his technology.
I came here from another world, a stranger you've no cause to trust, and yet you treated me so kindly. The people of the star are so very welcoming.
Ha! You are our dear friend now, Master Poo-Poo. 'Tis our pleasure to help. And it will be my pleasure to harm. Oh noes. I'll not fall for the same trick twice. Oh no! Poor Brandihild. Reading cartoons. Oh shit. This is so ridiculous. Well, both of the inspectors. Impudent worms! Taste my full power! Gosh. Oh no. I can't even. Not again! Team Rocket blasting off. Not well, maybe. You took the full force of that destructive beam. Yet there you stand, somewhat singed but apparently unharmed. I've pondered and puzzled over this inexplicable fortitude of yours. I feel compelled to ask. Are you an alien? Fine jest. But I assure you I am without a doubt an Olden-born Manderville of terrestrial urine stock.
He's Hildibrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. What more do you need to know?
Where do we even begin? Well, never mind. We have more pressing matters. Such as locating Master Poo-Poo's missing comrade. 'Tis time we reopen the case of the silent correspondent. Yes, exactly. And I have a firm theory as to who it was that took the wreckage in its erstwhile pilot. The Shirleyans! All but certain they've allied with insidious extraterrestrials, which means they'll be under orders to remove any evidence of alien activity. I wager we'll find what we're looking for in Old Charlian. We need only infiltrate their operations and expose this nefarious conspiracy. The Charlians can't be bothered to formally ally with foreign nations, much less aliens. The Labyrinths don't count. Trust me, they sooner flee the star than attempt to subjugate it. Both of those are true, but I like this one. Charlatans. While Master Delian's theory does lack supporting facts, we have no other promising leads to pursue at present. Moreover, I understand that Charlian sets the standard for monitoring astronomical and astrological phenomena. Man, all these big words I'm having to stumble through. Mayhap their experts have been tracking extraterrestrial movements. I've spoken out of turn. Please forgive my presumptuousness. Nay, my friend, I too sense our paths point to the Isle of Archons. Pack your bags, everyone. We leave for Charlian immediately. Oh, this is all so dumb. But I know you love a BB-10. She is so excited. My calculations may have failed me, but my companions did not. 'Twas your quick thinking that saw the villain laid low. What a tremendous flourish, no less.
Brandihild told me you all went in search of ingredients for my medicine. I am so very grateful.
The time has come, Rislin. Charlian is the beating heart of this conspiracy, and I won't let them hide their machinations any longer.
Nice teamwork, Rislin.
Heck yeah! She's gonna be my point guard. Charlian awaits. We need only charter a suitable sea vessel. Of course, but does not the city lie many days' sail to the north? Is there no swifter means of reaching our destination? So this experimental aetheryte will allow us to teleport thither, even absent attunement? Splendid! Then we shall avail ourselves of the technological marvel forthwith. Alright, well, we're just gonna go to our Charlian. Man, I haven't been in here in forever. Here we go.
Oh, when you travel the cosmos as much as I have, teleportation is not the least bit disconcerting.
How severe is your ether sickness, Master?
I hope Dalian wasn't too attached to his breakfast.
Oh God, save me! So this is the city of learning. A sophisticated gentleman should feel right at home here. How are you not sick to your stomachs?
Experimental etherites make travel exponentially more fun.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm the only normal person in this group of eccentrics. But this is not the time to succumb to nausea. Not here, in the belly of the beast. Rumor has it that the Charlian secret agents travel the star in search of specimens, which they collect and bring home in service to a confidential research project. Said project is conducted in a huge underground military facility. If we're to find answers, then that's where we need to look. Well, secret agents? You mean gleaners? Labyrinthos, not a military facility. I say, this Labyrinthos sounds promising. I say we head down there and make inquiries as to the whereabouts of our missing alien friend. No, it's not Alien 51. Area 51. We simply take a lift from the Hall of Artifice, yes? Then let us be on our way. Oh, we gotta go in here, I think. Plus, I get to... Did you see that last time? You might have seen it last time. I can do the... I can do, like, the jump forward. I don't know if I showed you that. Did I play this before the expansion hit? Okay, you did. Oh, I did. Okay, I just don't remember. Oh, you know what? It's just... it's just been so long. I feel like it's been so long.
What beautiful architecture! Charlian is clearly one of your more advanced civilizations.
The city's archives are said to be bursting with knowledge of countless peoples accumulated over the centuries. I should very much like to peruse the shelves once we have attended to our main mission.
If you're still feeling poorly, my all-purpose cure can perk you right up.
No. Thank you. I am much recovered. Ah, these must be the lifts in question.
Do you wish to descend to Labyrinthos, madam?
My apologies, but each of your companions must also secure the proper permissions before we can allow them entrance. If it is assurances you need, then surely a single glance is all you require to judge as trustworthy. Oh boy. What a group. I could certainly make some judgments, but that is neither here nor there. Admission to Labyrinthos is subject to foreign policy. You're the ones who should be judged! I know you're hiding aliens and xenotechnology in that underground base of yours. Admit it! Xenotechnology? I sincerely have no idea what you're talking about. Oh! Yet again do our paths cross in this most serendipitous fashion. Father! What business brings you to Charlian? I am in search of a certain object, one crucial to the continued refinement of the Manderville weaponry. My investigations led me to believe it is to be found here in Labyrinthos. And as you also seem to have business down below, this is my son and his bosom companions. If I vouch for their character, will you kindly allow them to board the lift? Oh, Master Godbert Manderville. The Forum sent word of your impending arrival. As a member of the Syndicate, your ambassadorial status affords you an entourage of up to 5 members. Pray consider their permissions arranged. I know not your current mission, but for the time being, I suggest you accompany me to the Archaeon. Oh wow! Little stinky cheese can't go. Nope. Alright, so where are we going? Over here. What is with this music? Charlian structures truly are works of art. Simply inspiring.
They have transformed the subterranean environment into one more suited to surface beings. I am reminded of the orbital stations built by my own home star.
What an incredible vault of accumulated curiosities. I should very much like to return here once our mission is completed. Underground archive with such an extravagant recreation of an outdoor habitat? What innocent purpose could it possibly serve? Oh, but of course, they're performing simulations to hone their strategy for aiding the aliens in their invasion of the world above. We're underground, but above ground at the same time. From what Father tells me, the storage facility is replete with samples and specimens collected from every land on Aetheris. If anyone has information concerning visiting aliens and crashed starships, it will be these studious folk. A shiny silver saucer? I'm sorry, but we have no record of any such object in our archives, either whole or in part. Or so you would have us believe, but the purpose of this complex, this military fortress, is plain. You cannot deny that you're conducting secret research on alien starships. We are not conducting secret research on alien starships. Yes, we did build a starfaring vessel in Tomazane, but it was neither for military purposes nor of extraterrestrial origin. Disguising your foul lies with a sprinkling of truth, are we? Fine, I'll dig up the facts myself, and then everyone will hear what you're really up to. While I cannot assist you with your missing craft, I do recall seeing an individual of like appearance to your companion here. You do? And where was this, pray tell? It's Marial Ergonomics, in the medial circuit. The lift at the back of the building will take you down there. Many thanks, my good man. Well, well, it seems you found yourselves a solid lead. I have my own search to attend to, so I shall bid you good hunting and a good day. Another round of in-depth inquiries by the agent of Enquiry and friends is in order. To Marial Ergonomics we go. Or agronomics. Agronomics. Whatever, close enough. You try and enunciate and pronounce these all the right way. Oh boy. Okay, let's go. Area 51 economics. Your description would lead me to believe you're looking for one of the Mandragoras hereabouts. But if, as you say, it's something else you're after, then I'm not sure if I can be of much help. I've only just started working here, so you may have more luck asking the older hands. Ah, you must be talking about one of those new Mandragora strains. We whipped up a batch of bright blue stray onions, but I'm afraid they started to rot almost immediately. Not a mandra, you say? Well, the only other bluish things I can think of around here are the grapes. Look how luscious this crop turned out. I mean, I guess. I guess, those grapes.
Yes, little blue man. Saw him with my own two eyes, I did, and it was no Mandragora. A gleaner in the company of an outside visitor passed through a little while back. Nothing too unusual there, only this, friend you described was scuttling along with them. I know not what purpose brought them to the farm, but whatever it was, they didn't tarry here long. Mr. Poo-Poo has found a new friend. Maybe they can help us find the old one. How could anyone ever mistake me for a Mandragora? We look nothing alike.
Yeah, I am. Wonderful! That corroborates the information I but moments ago skillfully squirreled out of this farmer. She claims to be an acquaintance of the gleaner in question, in fact, and will bring him to talk to us shortly. Let's round up the others. We should all be present to hear what revelations this professional collector has to share. The folk asking about the little blue man, yes? Oh, and you brought someone who looks practically identical. You must be the same species, surely.
My friend was really here then.
They certainly were. Oh shit, I messed up. I skipped accidentally. To begin at the beginning, I was in Tavner on a procurement mission when I crossed paths with an apothecary and his unusual companion. As I mentioned, companion was almost your twin in appearance, and the wagon they rode upon bore a damaged vessel the likes of which I'd never seen before.
Could it be?
As a collector by trade, I have a certain weakness for oddities. Thus did I hail the apothecary to inquire after his company and his cargo. The man was only too happy to share his story. He had, it seemed, quite recklessly plunged into the war-torn lands of Garlemald to sell his wares, reasoning that where there was conflict, there would be a need for medicinal goods. The state of affairs was rather more volatile than he'd anticipated, however. He was soon forced to abandon his venture. And so the apothecary began his long trek home, only to shortly thereafter discover a strange silvery ship and its shaken pilot crash-landed in a snowfield.
It cannot be a coincidence.
Story continues. After extricating the battered vessel and its occupant from the snow, he brought them home to Radzat Han. His guests wished to make repairs to the craft, yet even amongst the wonders of the bazaar, they struggled to find suitable parts. Hearing this, I suggested they bring the wreckage itself to Labyrinthos, and after they agreed to the idea, I escorted them here myself. Alas, even the Tomazane engineers who worked on the Ark were stymied by the exotic ship, finding its technology impossible to comprehend, let alone replicate. The little blue fella eventually resorted to drafting schematics. While the engineers followed these step by step to craft the essential bits and bobs, the apothecary and his companion were waiting here at Marial.
And then what happened?
Well, once our industrious visitor had what they needed, they repaired the vessel in a twinkling. The pair then departed almost immediately, and I've seen neither hide nor hair of them since. I'm told the apothecary paid a handsome sum for the engineer's services, but being typical Charlians, I'd wager they would have happily forfeited the coin for a chance to pore over every square ilm of that ship. Now, I'm no scientist, but I begin to think such an incredible vessel must have been some kind of starfaring craft. And that little blue man, well, he must have been an alien from another world. Or so I'd like to believe. I'm an avid reader of the Tavnerian Truth. You see, I'd love to entertain these idle flights of fancy. But I've rambled on too long. There are errands to attend to, and I really must take my leave. Good fortune to you. Dalian's like, another one! Can it be true? I have a readership in Charlian? Perhaps I misjudged these people. It would seem your comrade is hale and healthy, Master Poo-Poo, and in the company of a Hanish alchemist of undisclosed description.
Yes, this is wonderful news. I am grateful indeed that we made the journey.
I have a feeling this case will soon draw to a close. Come, let us return to Radzat Han and continue the search. Okay. Well, we're getting there. Getting there. I hope there is a trial, and it's coming up here at some point. I hope it doesn't take us too long to get a group, and the group doesn't fall apart.
There and back again in the blink of an eye.
To summarize our findings, we now know Master Poo-Poo's friend is safe, and in the company of a honest gentleman, and possibly here on this very isle. Oh, that does sound promising. I figured it was Godbert. Father, you've returned to the city. I trust this means your own investigation was successful. That it was, although laying hands on the object of my desire has been a long and frustrating ordeal, to say the least. Much painstaking research revealed to me the existence of a hereditary Manderville relic, within which slumbers the secrets of weapon augmentation. Yet, though I turned our ancestral home upside down, I failed to unearth the artifact in question. The reason for its absence became clear when I chanced upon the journal of one of our forefathers. He wrote of a visiting scholar's keen interest in the relic, and how he thus surrendered it into Charlene's safekeeping for study. The trail led me to Labyrinthos. As it turns out, the Charlenes never did find time to conduct their analysis. The custodian and I found the curio tucked away in a dusty corner of the Archaean, still awaiting processing. And here it is, an oddity every bit as perplexing as Godbrand's cipher-bound manual. How are we to liberate its hidden wisdom?
Oh, I can help you with that. These devices were made by the Mandervillians. The Mandervillians, a starfaring race with whom we once traded.
Starfaring? Mandervillians?
Yes, a highly evolved species with a mastery of advanced technologies. Our peoples shared ideas and inventions, so I am quite familiar with your family's relic. If you so wish, I can have the device project whatever images were stored upon it. A darkened room would afford us the clearest view, however.
Then let us retire to our rooms in Kama and dim the lanterns. We must behold the secrets in optimal conditions. Yes, aliens. Mandervillians. A coincidental naming, or is there some deeper connection? Planet Clown, really?
Everyone comfortable? Let's see what the device has for us.
It's a freaking projector. Yeah, he is. He's part of the gang now. I am Godbrand, wanderer of stars and weaponsmith extraordinaire. First Lord of House Manderville. This is the Godbrand? Our founding father? I record this message that my descendants may know the truth of their cosmic origins. The tale is long, but I bid you watch until the very end. Heirs of mine, I am not a man born of the star, or even a man at all. I am of the Mandervillians, a race which hails from the far side of the great expanse. Really? Mandervillians are parasitic symbionts. We can only survive by bonding with other life forms. Once our essence has taken root, we supplant the host's mind and strengthen its physical structures, imbuing our new form with a steel-like resilience. I knew there was something alien about that impossible imperviousness. Then, through the conjoining of compatible host bodies, we produce offspring which harbor the next generation of Mandervillians. The symbiotic variant eventually takes to the stars in search of potential new vessels, adapting and multiplying. So it was that our race proliferated and spread throughout the cosmos. Until, tragically, our flourishing civilization was brought to an abrupt end. Every planet upon which we Mandervillians resided was visited by an inexplicable calamity. Our societies were brought to ruin by life forms suddenly twisted into horrific nightmares. That sounds rather familiar. So even stars far removed in time and space were ravaged by the final days. Desperate to avoid the same fate, a comrade and I boarded a ship and fled upwards into the starry night. We flew and flew until we found a planet, your planet, untouched by the phenomenon. But the rigors of the journey had so damaged our craft that we were forced to make an uncontrolled descent. I alone crawled from the wreckage, badly injured and near death. But even as I resigned myself to perishing on this unfamiliar world, I was found by a man who had come looking for the falling star. No, not in Roswell, New Mexico. As a rule, Mandervillians do not take intelligent life forms for hosts. After hearing my story, however, this sympathetic gentleman offered to become my vessel of his own accord. He was himself afflicted by an incurable malady, and with little time left to live, seemed content to know that his ailing body could provide safe haven for another. No. With his blessing, I set about transferring my essence. The man's form was revitalized and purged of its fatal frailty, yet the mind which dwelled within was now my own. I went on to build a new home for myself here, making use of my people's technology to ply the blacksmith's trade. I wed a local lass. Together we had a child. Although not pure Mandervillian, our offspring exhibits the same enhanced physiology. A boon, I suspect, shall be passed down for generations through the bloodline of House Manderville. My dear descendants, the folk of this star are most fragile. Yet as the first man I encountered did demonstrate, they are nevertheless capable of surpassing love and generosity. As the last of the Mandervillians, I have but one request to make of you. Pray employ your superlative attributes and my armory of Manderville armaments for the benefit of these wonderful peoples whom I hold in the highest regard. Okay. It does look like Julian. What an astounding development. I, Hildibrand Helidor Maximilian Manderville, shall heed the passionate plea of my illustrious forebear. No case is too big nor too small should it be in service of my fellow man. He learns he's descended from an extraterrestrial being. It's still business as usual. But wait a minute. Then why is Lady Julian so monstrously strong?
Is she a descendant of aliens too?
Well, this is most unexpected. Never did it cross my mind that our esteemed ancestor might hail from beyond the heavens. But I do wonder if that self-same blood still runs thick in our veins. The family tree I glanced over some years ago also suggests that, but it is unimportant. My present purpose remains unchanged. I will bring our Manderville weaponry to the peak of perfection, for Godbrand, and for the good of our star. Before I forget, I have a gift for you, Rislin. Pray await me at the Aetheryte Plaza, and I shall bring it to you forthwith. Alright, I guess. Not you smart. Sometimes she can be. At times. Some truths can shadow the foundations of our beliefs when brought to light. But I have to say, this wasn't one of them. The more staggering discovery was that I was to have devoted readers in Charlian. Those who peruse my publications are allies against the ever-expanding webs of lies and deceptions, without exception. I have misjudged the Charlian people. They are not collaborators or the architects of conspiracy. They are but seekers of knowledge and afraid to plumb the depths of the unknown. That Master Poo-Poo, though, that one still has ulterior motives. I'd bet my life on it. Stand ready, for we shall have need of your strength when he shows his true colors. I hope you've not been waiting long. This is the gift I mentioned. Master Poo-Poo's earnest quest inspired me to indulge in a spot of clockwork craftsmanship between weaponsmithing sessions. I thought it only fitting that you be the one to care for this diminutive simulacrum. God, these words. Consider it a memento of your adventures together. And as for our Manderville weaponry project, I believe my ancestor's artifact has unlocked the door to the next stage of improvements. Should you find time to offer your assistance, announce yourself to Master Geralt, and I shall endeavor to join you with utmost celerity. Until then, my dear Rislin. It is a pet. It is a pet. I pull him out, but we already have a Master Poo-Poo in the quest, and I don't want it to be confused. Well, I don't know. Hold on. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Tabnair. Uh-oh. Lord Venuti, I come with ill tidings. Professor Lugay set an ambush for his nemesis, but was once more defeated. His current whereabouts are unclear. That blithering dolt! No matter. Preparations are well underway. The manifestation will proceed as planned. He needs to have an evil laugh. Like that. That would be perfect. But he didn't do an evil laugh, so I'll have to do it for him. Alright. I think that's the end of this, oh god, there's a lot of them. Alright. Ending song. I don't know if I can sing this or not. I don't know the melody. I try. Terrestrial calamity. Diasmically altered physiology. Gentleman's man, a first of their clan, an ancestor of quality, our god Brandihild. Truth can be stranger than the tallest tale. See you, Inspector. I know, it's horrible, okay? But I tried. Alright, so that is patch 6.4's quest line. Now we're going to the final wing, the final quest line that's going to finish up the story. And we are going to get a trial. I hope it doesn't take us forever to get a group, and I hope it doesn't fall apart, because it is a little bit more difficult. And I don't quite remember it all. Yeah. Ah, Rislin, you're just in time to assist with my latest fact-finding expedition. Our recent foray into Charlian revealed that Poo-Poo's friend was in the company of a Hanish alchemist, yes? As such, I was inspired to do some preliminary legwork here in Tavnair. I contacted my usual sources for local sightings of alien phenomena, but alas, they had none to share. I have thus switched tactics and decided to track down this alchemist fellow instead. Surely someone will have heard the tale of an apothecary bold enough to set up shop on a Garlean battlefield. Inspector and the others have been perusing a similar line of inquiry, and they have found no leads here in the city or at the Great Work. I believe they've moved their investigation to the Edlymod, so I suggest we hurry over and join them. We cannot have that little blue man muddying the waters when we're so close to grasping his master plan. His master plan. Alright, well, we gotta go to the Edlymod. Dear poopies. They're good, though. I mean, they're not good for me, but they're good. Gotta wash it down. Alright.
Oh, my friend is an exceptional individual, capable of astounding feats that I could never accomplish without the help of my starship's equipment. What else can you tell us about your long-lost comrade, Master Poo-Poo? This port town would be an excellent place to analyze global trading trends.
I see the two of you are eager as ever to observe my inspectorial genius at work. Ah, the long-term fans are often the most ardent. As a matter of fact, we were just about to continue our investigation into the alchemist we know to have been traveling with Master Poo-Poo's comrade. I mean, that is to say, I am merely following in the inspector's wake. You needn't be so modest, my dear Inspector Brandihild. It is wrong of me to comport myself as an equal to you in to you all in any respect, for I am but a copy, and a flawed one at that. Stuff and nonsense! Clone or not, self-deprecation is unbecoming of a Manderville man.
Exactly! The things you can do are amazing!
Oh, I don't know about that. 'Twas you who saved Rislin from certain doom, was it not? Oops, I messed it up. It was quite effective something. 'Tis kind of you to accept me, rough edges and all. I only hope my meager contributions are of some small assistance. I get too excited sometimes. Sorry, BB10. Too modest by half. I'd say his mental faculties far surpass those of the original. That's enough chin-wagging amongst ourselves, I think. Let us spread out and learn what the locals know of this adventurous apothecary. I know, you ought to try and click in. I wonder if Stinky Cheese Man is going to go questioning people's. Perhaps if I emulated Inspector Hildibrand's cavalier attitude, I could be of greater use in our investigations. I like Brandihild. Do I know any apothecaries? Razat Han? Of course, more than I can count. I've not heard tell of anyone peddling such goods in the heart of the Empire, though. Seems like a terrible idea to me, what with civil war raging and the world almost ending. The situation's improved in recent days, but even so, the Radiant Host still has to provide security for cargo shipments. A lone merchant trading there alone? Possible. Of many merchants who travel abroad to ply their wares, but none who have business in Garlemald. You have to be mad or desperate indeed to consider setting up shop in that troubled land. I mean, word is we've signed some kind of trade agreement with the Garleans, but it's still not the kind of place where one simply wanders in and opens a street stall. One doesn't simply wander into Garlemald and open a street stall. Dang it. Yeah. Yes, I know of the one of whom you speak. A fellow fisherman told me of a friend of his, an apothecary, who set off for war-torn Garlemald to sell his wares. Or his medicines, not wares. A reckless fool, if you ask me. I have no interest in the affairs of such men. But you do, I take it? So, I suggest you head to Usakayak and hear the tale for yourself. Look for a red-haired lad there gathering shellfish. Okay.
Inspector Brandihild, a blocky man of quality. How fare your inquiries?
Ah, Rislin, I hope your questioning has borne fresher fruit than mine. Oh ho! A good friend of the alchemist in question, you say? Now let us gather the troops and pay a visit to this felicitous fisherman. Hey, Trevor. I saw you pop in earlier. Story of my apothecary friend. Oh, you must mean Baharasaf. I don't know how to say this name! Baharasaf. Well, I was near enough to calling it a day anyway, so here's what I can tell you. Baharasaf comes from a very poor family and, growing up, never had much in the way of money or possessions. I suppose those experiences are what led to his lifelong obsession with gaining wealth. After trying his hand at a succession of trades, he decided alchemy would earn him the most gil. But his stock never sold as well as he hoped. So when he heard about the internal strife in Garlemald, he saw it as a golden opportunity. Surely, the middle of a war was the best place to sell medicines. Oh, you're a vampire, and what? That's it? I'm a vampire, and here's $1 million? Okay. I have to say it. Every time you say that, I have to say it. Huh. More like the best place for near-death experiences. He soon gave up on his Garlemald adventure. While one would have expected him to return lamenting his ill fortune, Aharasaf was practically euphoric when I saw him again. God's given blessing he'd found in the snowfields had given him much cause to celebrate. He said he'd learn how to create gold. I must admit I laughed at first. But then he showed me a gleaming mountain of the stuff, enough to proclaim himself a merchant prince. He even changed his name to Venuti, a word which brings to mind the bounty of the divine. A name I have heard. He's the rising star of the markets, is he not? The one snapping up commercial ventures left and right. Yes, Venuti has certainly made his ambitions known here in Tavnair, especially when he attempted to purchase the entire port of Yedlimod. Dockmasters declined to sell, of course, and when it comes to buying historic landmarks, a bottomless purse can open surprising doors. Last I heard, he converted the gilded Araya into a private abode, and has been filling it with every rare treasure his gold can secure. He pays out particularly large sums for artworks depicting the goddess Asura. I remember him being a fervent worshipper of hers, even as a child. I've encountered much Manusia and Murga lore in Razadhan, and I recall no mention of this Asura. Well, that's hardly surprising. As a deity of war, she is not well loved by the common folk. Baharasaf is different, though. He sees life as a constant battle to amass wealth, and it is to Asura whom he prays for victory. And damn me if she didn't listen. That once poor boy became a merchant royalty, a man far too rich and important now to afford more than a fleeting moment for simple fishermen, even those who were once dear friends. If you'll excuse me, I really must leave it at that. These clams won't sell themselves, you know. They are? That is awesome. That is awesome news. I'm glad for you, Trevor. How about that, eh? Our sought-after apothecary and the upstart merchant prince were one and the same. Might we assume the blessing he stumbled upon in Garlemald was a certain alien craft and its occupant? Sorry to intrude, but aren't you the hero who helped us when folk were turning into beasts? Well, some nasty-looking creature just showed up outside town. One of our guards went to confront it, but I don't like her odds against that thing. This sounds like a case for Inspector Hildibrand. Come, friends, let us investigate forthwith. I love how Stinky Cheese Man is basically part of the crew now. I thought you destroyed that monster. I have the situation under control, citizens. This individual bears a strong resemblance to a known fugitive, so I thought it prudent to investigate. Regrettably, he has proven less than forthcoming with answers. How many times must we teach you the same lessons, shiny skull man? Lesson? What are you on about? Bah! Cease this babbling and get out of my way. Lord Venuti's orders are to cause trouble at the port, and I'm running behind schedule. Venuti? The merchant who tried to buy Yedlimod? So he put you up to this. Curses! How did you manage to deduce our dastardly plan? You blurted it out.
Silence! No one who learns of our scheme can be suffered to live. Prepare to be squashed, meddlesome worms.
Uh-oh. 3 more sinister skullmen? Was that doctor a quadruplet? I try. Mother? Yeah.
Vexatious vermin! This will soften you up. Bah! A lucky hit!
She's Hildibrand's mom. Oh, I missed!
One last bitch!
Unlimited heavy hitter special. That was definitely a home run.
But that was my fastball!
Gone again. Come to expect Father's sudden appearances, but what brings you here, Mother? Oh, hold on. Who is it? Scam Blakely?
Yep.
Alright. Proposition from that Merchant Vernuti, as a matter of fact. I'm accompanying your dad as a manager of for Mandervale and Manderville, and we were just on our way to the bloke's mansion.
I've already refused Master Vernuti once before when he tried to buy out our commercial empire. This time, however, the deal concerns offloading a quantity of gold at wholesale prices. It is quite an attractive offer, considering fine jewelry is our stock in trade, and we thought to at least listen to his proposal. But if he could purposefully command his lackeys to disturb the peace of a public port...
We can't do business with a thug like that. Absolutely not. Where did all those lackeys come from in the first place? Is there a hulking weaponized brute manufactory around here somewhere?
As I suspected, my ship's vaporization beam is configured to expunge only a replicated matter.
So you can copy inorganic materials as well. How interesting. Once the matter duplication facility has analyzed an object's molecular structure, it can generate any number of copies. Yet it cannot create matter from nothing. A requisite supply of ether must be on hand to facilitate the process.
Core! You sure do know a lot about a lot, Inspector Brandihild. Even alien starships.
Tis no great achievement. As I've mentioned, the gaps in my knowledge were patched with data from the starship's own archives, which included the vessel's full schematics and functions. Assuming I understand this correctly, is it possible Venuti is using the repaired alien craft to replicate piles and piles of gold? We share the same suspicion, Master Dalian. To my knowledge, no other method exists that can reliably produce precious metals. Oh, of course! 'Tis the obvious conclusion! That being the case, one might further assume that Venuti is either threatening or deceiving Master Poo-Poo's comrade in order to gain access to the vessel's superior technology. Our course of action is clear. We march right up to his gold spawner's front door and demand the release of his extraterrestrial hostage. Piles and piles of, yeah. Oh my gosh. Inspector's mother is as monstrously strong as the Manderville men, except that doesn't make any sense.
All this talk of threats and deceit has me worried.
I am giving to understand that, while identical in appearance, the craft belonging to Master Poo-Poo's comrade is equipped with more advanced technology.
That was a smashing hit, Rislin.
Good to see you, Rislin, and good to see you're still keeping company with our darling boy. That blocky lad, new friend of yours? Smooth off the edges, and he'd be the spitting image of our Hildy. I was hesitant to put stock in the unsavory rumors I'd heard, but this unprovoked attack on the port would seem to be incontrovertible proof of Venuti's villainy. We must confront this malicious merchant at once. If your heart's set on confrontation, then you may as well come with us. Venuti's invitation included a private airship flight to his new estate. Aye, we still need to formally reject his deal anyways, and his pilot will be waiting. Shall we be on our way? We're to meet Venuti's pilot atop the rise just south of Kajaya footsteps. I don't know how to say a lot of these names. I try, though. I butcher them, but I try. Alright. We do Venuti. We're gonna, well, there's a trial coming up, so hopefully I can remember doing it. I remember it not being too bad once you knew the mechanics, but I don't remember. It's been like 3 weeks. Oh man. No, not 3 weeks. July 2nd is when the expansion hit. Well, pre-order. But I don't know. Lord Godbert, Lady Julian. And, entourage? Pray excuse our presumptuousness. My son and his companions insisted they come along, desperate as they were to meet with the illustrious Master Venuti. see. One moment, if you please. Lord Venuti should be glad to welcome you all to his home. Pray step aboard, and I shall take you there directly. Welcome, honored guests, to my humble abode. I trust the view is to your liking. Since you traveled all the way from distant Ulda, a pleasant backdrop to our talks was the least I could provide. And what an unexpected boon this is. I'd been debating when to extend you a personal invitation, but now here you are, like a wish come true. Savior, act for the magistrates, Venuti. We know the secret of your ill-gotten gold. You will cease this exploitation of alien technology and release your hostage into the care of Master Poo-Poo at once. Unraveled all my schemes, have you? Good. I needn't waste my breath on tedious explanations, then. This is Master Poo-Poo, I presume. I do have his fellow alien here with me, yes. As for exploiting their technology, I freely admit to duplicating a quite frankly obscene amount of gold. But that was merely the beginning. Imagine making copy after copy of the deadliest weapons in existence. Would not the world itself be yours for the taking? Let's get straight to the point. I want you at my side. With the vaunted Warrior of Light as the template for my clone army, we could conquer this and every other land in creation. Gasp! I refuse categorically and emphatically. Well, that's not a bad idea, actually. I'm gonna go with that one. Splendid jest, my friend. Splendid and not at all indicative of suppressed megalomaniacal ambitions jest. Yes? Of course it was. Our redoubtable Rislin would never dream of accepting such a contemptible proposal. Pity. Yet I anticipated you would prove an impediment to my ascension. Yes, it seems the time has come to test Lugay's ritual of manifestation. All was prepared long in advance of your coming. This tower holds not only mundane treasures, but also caches of crystals. As for the requisite congregation of worshippers, well, I had but to clone myself. After all, who is more devoted to my cause and to my goddess than me? Divine Asura, take up thy blades and wage war upon mine earthly rival. Nay, Hildibrand. Against the primal we may be more hindrance than help. We dare not remain within its sphere of influence. Best of luck, my friend. I must make a gentlemanly withdrawal. Dang it. Yeah, we're gonna have to. But actually, the reason why he cloned them was to use all of their, basically, their prayers or their wishes or whatever to summon a primal. Yes, it's a primal. Oh boy. The Gilded Araya. Well, let's see. Let's see if I can do it. Alright, we gotta trials. Oh boy. Oh god, that was fast. Shit! That was instantaneous. Alright, well, I'm probably gonna die. Oh, a member withdrew. Dang it. Alright. I don't remember. I don't really remember this. Well, maybe a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh, somebody, this must be somebody's first time, I'm thinking. No? No, it's not. Alright, let's go.
I am Asura, and on battle I thrive. Have you the courage and strength to face me?
No, there are no sprouts, which is good.
Will you
know what they're doing.
or will you bleed? The frail shall fall. You've not time to blink.
I'm over here.
Tremble before the might of the minutiae.
I don't remember what this is.
Come forth, embodiment of carnage.
Oh.
Revel on the bloody field of war. The spirit of battle awakens.
Okay, so
Sharp is the lesson.
That's right. So the one
The weak shall
clone or
perish.
whatever will clone the ability.
Hear the gleaming edge.
And we gotta go over here.
Unmerciful light shine upon you.
Oh shit. Oh, that was fun.
Behold the six-fold blade.
Oh shit. Shit. I forgot. Oh boy. That's right.
Fury be my my strength.
Oh, I gotta be on the opposite side.
I will scatter your bones.
Alright, I think I was cut in half. Oh boy. I think we pretty much seen everything. So.
The spirit of battle awakens. Sharp is the lesson.
Alright.
Show me your steel.
Alright, well, we're gonna go this way. Oh boy.
Unmerciful light shine upon you.
Oh. This way.
Hear the gleaming edge.
So I have to kind of watch where she ends up teleporting to. Alright, so we go down this way.
Behold the six-fold blade.
Alright, so then we start here. Okay, got it. Whew! God.
The face of battle is ever-changing. Joyful is your downfall. I will scatter your bones.
Alright, so we almost got this.
Will you dance or will you bleed?
I know.
You've not time to blink. Show me your steel. The frail shall fall. The spirit of battle awakens. Hear the
Fine.
gleaming edge.
She's almost dead. Woo, we did it. I'm gonna give it to the healer. That could have been so much worse. That actually went pretty well, I think. Good show, Rislin. 'Twould seem you thoroughly trounced that pesky primal. And even as we speak, Mother and Father should be informing the Radiant Host of that despicable Venuti's wrongdoings. The Divine Asura defeated? Turn the wheel, we flee for now. Uh-oh. Who is flying the airship without my permission? The treasure is mine and mine alone! You called your vessel Master Poople?
No, I did not. It's my friend's ship.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. At last! The moment of sweet reunion is at hand!
I am so relieved to see you safe. Likewise, my friend. But why did you open fire on the airship? Didn't that man help you after your crash? He did, at first. He pulled me from the wreckage and saw to it that my vessel was repaired. So, in return, I replicated whatever trinket he desired and taught him the basics of starship technology. But that resolved to be a terrible error in my judgment. When I was infected by one of this star's unique pathogens, he took advantage of my weakened state. He seized my ship, flew me out to the jungle, and there left me to die. Slowly, agonizingly, I was able to synthesize a cure for my affliction, and then I came back to reclaim my property. This experience has led me to conclude that the dominant sentient life forms here are dull-witted, cruel, and entirely unsuited to peaceful cohabitation. We must launch a full-scale invasion. It is the only way to guarantee our survival. No, they are not like that at all. These ones have been nothing but kind to me. Oh yes, they are smiles until they laser you in the back. You have to strike first before they show their true colors.
No! The alien invasion! Uh-oh. Oh no! Yes.
The ship's reactor core has been breached. If it explodes, everyone in the vicinity will be atomized. And we're all in the vicinity.
Think, damn it, think! If I have to stop the explosion, I need to traverse the considerable distance to the starship, but I can conceive of no logical solution. my gosh. Inspector Brandihild, you must employ my father's mighty moves to propel me to the vessel. I too have calculated that Lord Godbird's signature techniques are our only means of achieving sufficient propulsion. Yet there is a flaw in your proposal. I lack the strength to properly perform the throw, and I have no time to teach you the starship's controls. Inspector Hildibrand, it is you who must fling me. Skyward, as only a Manderville can! I lost my grip. Given my trajectory and velocity, the correct shift in posture should generate enough lift and processional motion to... Yes, I can still make it! Tis too late. The reactor is going critical. There's only one way to save the day. No! Brandihild! Inspector Brandihild! Our brief time together was more than any defective clone could ask for. Be well, my friends.
Is this case closed for Inspector Brandihild?
Nay, my loyal assistant. As a chip off the old gentleman, our dear Brandihild has surely survived to tell the tale. We shall see him again, mark my words. I hope so.
You rescued me, even though I tried to incinerate you with high-intensity plasma blasts. Even at the cost of one of your own. If only I could make amends and earn your forgiveness. But alas...
There is naught to forgive. With this his blocky constitution, Inspector Brandihild will be will be just fine, I assure you. As a friend of Master Poo-Poo, you are a friend of ours. And what are a few minor plasma burns among friends, eh?
Our home planet. It was lost in the phenomenon you call the final days. We survived only because we were away exploring the cosmos at the time. Our explorations, which had heretofore served no purpose but curiosity, shifted to a search for safe haven. We visited countless stars, but all had succumbed to the same insidious ruin as our own. Growing desperate, we decided to settle on any suitable refuge we could find, whether it was populated or not. If the native beings were hospitable, we would live peacefully alongside them. If not, then we were prepared to claim a new home by force. So it was that I'd arrived at your miraculous planet, lulled by the apparent absence of metaphysical chaos. I blundered into a mundane war zone, where I was promptly shot out of the sky. The rest you already know. Having fallen behind our research, I hurried here when my communications received no answer. That was when I met you, Inspector Hildibrand. Those touched by the despair of the final days are reduced to beasts. Given our savage willingness to invade your star, it would seem that, in a sense, we fell prey to that despair after all. Fortunately, my encounter with you generous people brought me to my senses, an outcome for which I am profoundly grateful. That said, there is nowhere else for us to go. Would it be too much to ask for us to live here on your star?
Well, of course you must stay. And I suspect you'll be wishing to repair your damaged vessel. Oh no. Mummy!
Inspector, not again! Wait for me!
Oh, never a dull moment around our Hildibrand. At least we needn't worry about if the ship crashes. Not with an impervious Mandervillian aboard. Ah, funny you should mention that. Upon reviewing the Manderville family tree, 'twas made clear that a lord without heirs of his own passed the name to an adopted child several generations ago. Are you saying that you and your son are not direct descendants of Godbrand, the alien progenitor of the Manderville line? Then how do you explain your unnatural sturdiness? When it comes to building strength and perfecting gentlemanly technique, 'tis not one's lineage which matters, but rather the unbending conviction within one's heart. Though Godbrand's bloodline be broken, House Manderville shall live on through us. If the beguiled boy can't swallow that explanation, I've also heard talk of some unseen power driven by feelings and emotions. Could be that you and Hildy have tapped into that cosmic essence. Oh, if that's the case, then you must be positively swimming in it, my dear. Every, thing appears to be under control here, so let us return to the city, shall we? So So ridiculously silly. Ah, once more do I find myself hurtling at superlative speed towards an unknown destination. Another day, another thrilling case for Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. Thanks to an enlightening conversation with Master Poo-Poo on the way back, I believe I have the answers required to proceed with our weaponsmithing project. I trust the endeavor yet holds your interest. Pray inform Master Geralt of your willingness to assist, and my hammer and I shall make all haste to the High Crucible. And with that, I bid you good day. Thank y'all for looking out for our beloved son. I'm sure him and the blocky lad will be back for more cases before you know it.
You've gone above and beyond for us, Rislin, so I'd like you to have one replicated starship we made. It doesn't have the duplication facility or other technology on board, but it will carry you through the skies. Use this key to call it whenever you wish. As for the two of us, we've decided to get to know your home better by embarking on a journey of exploration. And so this is where we must say our farewells. Thank you for everything. We are fortunate indeed to have met you.
Seems Poo-Poo wasn't planning an invasion after all. He even tried to stop his friend from launching an attack. Calling an end to this investigation, Rislin. Your unfailing support during this entire ordeal has been most appreciated. Thanks to you, I was able to observe the inner workings of Charlian, and even travel to the surface of the moon in search of the truth. And when my own conspiracies threatened to blind me, you were there to open my eyes to the true shape of things. But this world yet harbors its share of the strange and the inexplicable, not the least of which is the source of Hildibrand's impossible physiology. Not an alien, then. Mayhap he's the product of a hyper-advanced civilization from the distant past, the descendant of some gruesome biological experiment? Someone needs to plumb the depths of these unexplained phenomena, and I am the very man for the job. Give him one more song to be singing horribly. No, Chewie, come on, I gotta sing. Blood never flowed in their veins. Their source of strength and enigma remains. Make folk their clothing bespoke. A gentlemanly family, the good house Manderville. True inspector is born from the heart. La la li da da. La la li da la li la li la. I don't even know. Tra la la da da. Tra la 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 di da 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 da. Okay, whatever. This is so ridiculous. Chewie had to get off my lap. He's like, I don't know what mommy's doing. Hildibrand will return? He better return! Come on, we need him in Dawn Trail. Oh, it's Stinky Cheese Man. he's training. What the?